pilots at the controls of the Boeing Co. 737 MAX that crashed in March in Ethiopia initially followed emergency procedures laid out by the plane maker but still failed to recover control of the jet, according to people briefed on the probe's preliminary findings. After turning off a flight control system that was automatically pushing down the plane's nose shortly after takeoff March 10, these people said, the crew couldn't get the aircraft to climb and ended up turning it back on and relying on other steps before the final plunge killed all 157 people on board. The sequence of events, still subject to further evaluation by investigators, calls into question assertions by Boeing BA-0.20% in the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration over the past 5 months that by simply following established procedures to turn off the suspect stall prevention feature, called MCAS, pilots could overcome a misfire of the system and avoid ending in a crash. The pilots on Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 initially reacted to the emergency by shutting off power to electric motors driven by the automated system, these people said, but then appear to have re-engaged the system to cope with a persistent steep nose-down angle. It wasn't immediately clear why the pilots turned the automated system back on instead of continuing to follow Boeing's standard emergency checklist, but government and industry officials said the likely reason would have been because manual controls to raise the nose didn't achieve the desired results. After first cranking a manual wheel in the cockpit that controls the same movable surfaces on the plane's tail that MCAS had affected, the pilots turned electric power back on, one of these people said. They began to use electric switches to try to raise the plane's nose, according to these people. But the electric power also reactivated MCAS, allowing it to continue its strong downward commands, the people said. An expanded version of this report appears on WSJ.com. Popular on WSJ.com, 50 Cent sells massive Connecticut compound for 84% less. Why video games trigger the nightly meltdown, and how to help your child cope.